Yes, how are you? This is Frank DeFreitas calling again for Patrick Boyd.
Sure, let me just get him for you. Hold on.
Thank you.
Hello.
Patrick.
Hey, how you doing?
How are you? It's Frank.
Not too bad, you know.
Did you have a little time?
Yep.
I called a little earlier. They said you were out to lunch.
Yes.
What did you have for lunch?
Oh, chicken Caesar salad. Slightly healthy, but then with the croutons, you know. So.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it's all right. We've got a good cafe around here.
No burgers and fries?
Oh, they do burgers and fries, but, you know, it's summer. It's summer. Yeah, far away.
I sound far away.
No, fire away.
Oh, fire away.
I'm all psyched up now.
Okay. Got a little bit of an echo in your voice, but I think we're okay with it.
Okay.
It sounds like you're in a large room.
It is quite a large room. I'm in the conference room.
Oh, are you on a speakerphone?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. I mean, we could try back or...
No, this is fine. I think it'll be fine.
Okay. All right, okay.
Why don't we start off? I know you have a number of things coming up that's very exciting as far as some of your workshops, assuming that those are still a go over there. Why don't we start off with that, and we'll get that information out to the folks that are listening right off the bat.
Okay, no problem. As you may know, there used to be a holography school in this location some time ago, run by Edwina Orr.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Richmond Holographic Studios.
Yes.
And so there was always classes here, and this is where I first came across holography as well. And, yeah, basically, about 10 years ago, the premises was taken over by a company called Spatial Imaging, which is Rob Monday and Jeffrey Robb.
Mm-hmm.
And, but most of, and they're traditionally a display holography company, but for the last, I'd say, 8 years, their work has been more digital, make digital holograms.
I see. Now, is that creating holograms directly from digital information, or are you using some sort of an interface with a projection screen or something?
No, creating it digitally, printing it dot by dot.
That's an incredible amount of information that you're processing there. Are you able to do that using just standard desktop computers now, or proprietary stuff?
No, it's a standard desktop computer.
That's amazing.
Yeah, no, they're quite good, and they've got a few technologies that use different methods, but basically it's printing the hologram pixel by pixel, and that's mainly used for security imaging.
Yes, I imagine they're rather small holograms.
Oh no, up to 50 by 50, something like that. Quite
no
big.
Kidding.
Yeah.
How much time does it take to print a hologram that size? Because I know a long time ago in Holosphere, the publication from the Museum of Holography, I think there was a company called Aerodyne, and they were doing digital holography, and I think they were doing a centimeter by centimeter hologram, and I believe it took 72 hours to print centimeter by centimeter.
Well, I think the biggest one here takes about 8 hours or something.
Yeah.
There's one on the wall here, and I haven't got a tape measure on me, but it's about twice the size of an album cover or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So they're quite big, and they take overnight, I think, those things to produce.
Yeah.
And it's all done on photoresist. Anyway, unfortunately, this isn't my department. My department is more traditional holography.
Mm-hmm.
And so therefore they had these labs, which they hadn't been the focus of the business, although they have done display work. But
it is interesting that holography has gotten to the point where we can refer to a specific type of holography now as traditional holography.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Yes, it is quite odd. But then again, there are, I think, a lot of people working in holography, and I know some of them actually that work with holography, but don't know traditional holography. They're only digital holographers. You know?
Oh.
There's one here actually who doesn't know about traditional holography.
Yeah, how about that? We're getting old, Patrick.
Yeah, I know. We're part of the old school here, doing it by hand.
I imagine that your workshops are going to be for traditional holography as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead.
At the moment, they're entirely traditional holography. A continuous wave laser, most of it, but we do cover the pulse slightly.
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, very traditional, on a very heavy table, settling time and all that, all about that.
Yeah.
And so basically the labs were here, and spatial imaging thought they'd like to get the labs used, and thought that it might be good, time to start the courses again. Also, there's a renewed interest in holography.
Yeah.
And there are some new materials becoming available as well. And,
as far as recording materials?
Yeah, recording materials, yes.
What's out there that's new?
Well, the BB plates.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we started using those.
Are they your preference?
Yes, they seem available, and they seem to work. They're not as fast as AXA, but when you get them to work, they're just as good.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, and I've seen some very good work by Nyaki Bergstein using them, full colour work, which is absolutely fantastic.
Now, do you do any full colour work there with the
we
continuous wave?
On the course. We haven't started full colour, but we've been doing pseudo colour, which is what a lot of full colour work is anyway. But yeah, we mess around with T. But at the moment, we're in a kind of young stage, embryonic stage. We just got the labs up and running. We're offering the basic things in methods of teaching holography. At the moment, we're just doing beginners courses. And at the moment, I'm busy trying to set up a stereogram camera as well, so we can teach that method as well, which will be from a digital input. So
I see.
Yeah, so we've got the basics of a camera here, which will make it that much easier. Bit of a shame, but there we go. You can't stop progress.
Yeah.
And where people will be able to bring files, whether they're computer generated or film or photographs, and scan them in and go directly from the computer. That's the idea.
That's great. How many images per hologram are you planning to use?
Oh, I don't know, 50 to 100.
I see.
Quite adaptable.
When are your workshop programs starting up? I'm assuming perhaps they've started already?
Yeah, we've done 3 courses so far.
How long do they run?
A week.
Okay.
At the moment it's 5 days. And at the moment we're scheduling them for the last week of every month. And I haven't really advertised it yet, so everyone that's come along so far has been through word of mouth.
Now, if someone wanted to get information about the workshops on the web, would they go to your personal website, or is there another website that you would recommend they go to?
There is another website, and it is www.holograms.uk, and you follow the link from, it says, What's New.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll get a direct link, because after the third workshop we decided the school had to have a name, so we've come up with the London School of Holography.
Terrific.
Fills all the bills, and I've got to redo the web, so that comes up on a search, and hopefully it will come up we'll have to find out if London School is available, or London School of Holography or something like that. Got to do all that.
Now, your early work, why don't you tell the listeners that may not be familiar with Patrick Boyd from, dare I say, maybe 15, 20 years ago?
Oh, golly, now you're talking. It's 20 years now since I've been involved in holography, I think.
Yeah, and you started out with, I guess what we would term here in the States, you did a lot of fashion portraiture, I imagine.
Yes, I suppose, yeah. I took the MA at the Royal College of Art in holography, and I came from a photographic background, and so I guess my first holograms were actually photographic ones, so the animated ones, and just animated images, and for some reason then I was into fashion imagery, so I made animated fashion holograms, which I perceived the end use being magazines and things like that, and then got involved in pulsed holography and got into portraiture, and then started doing fashion imagery on that as well, and did a shop window display for Zander Rhodes and things like that, so large-scale fashion images. And then when I lived in New York, which was 1990 or 89-90, I changed direction totally and went back into photographic imagery and started making stereograms, i.e. 3D holograms but again, still using animation. But these were more of a documentary nature than anything.
Mm-hmm.
So
was this on Mercer Street in New York that you did these pieces?
Yep, at the old Museum of Holography.
Yeah.
And but basically, what I wanted to do was make a type of imaging that was spontaneous.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike, most holography is stuff that you find or whatever, and then there's a long deliberation process about making it into a hologram. So I wanted to do something that was totally spontaneous. So I worked out a way of making holograms from a camera that I could carry myself all the time. So I took a photograph, 36 photographs, one roll of film, and then re-registered them using an animation technique.
Yeah.
Now, of course, nowadays, with video cameras and steady cams and registration software, this should be a lot easier.
Yeah, you can register it on a screen.
Yeah, or maybe there's some software that can register it for you. So I'm investigating that at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Seems a shame though, because one of the things I liked about re-registering the imagery was that it put some human contact back into the process.
Yes, it was very much a skill involved. Yeah. Which I'm sure, doing it on a terminal is a skill. Different skill sets, but still a skill nonetheless. But it's not as much. I don't know if that's true. I was going to say it's not as much a hands-on skill, but I guess it would be.
Well,
it's a tough thing,
It's a tough thing, yes. But I did feel that with a lot of these processes, if you take human intervention out of them so much, then they kind of become slightly sterile.
Mm-hmm.
And it was always nice to have a bit of craft in it. So anyway, maybe the craft will come somewhere else. Because when I was, re-registering these images, it was a constant, I didn't know how they would turn out until I actually started re-registering them. Because when I looked through the images, I'd decide what was going to be the focal plane. And you could look at the image and say, right, that part there is going to be on the image plane.
Yeah.
And everything else is going to be for front or behind. And you could choose that right at the end, really. I mean, when I shot it, I obviously had a slight idea, but it quite often changed.
Yeah.
When I actually started re-registering the image.
The registration of the images actually determines what's in the focal plane.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That is very much a craft.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was how you shot it was a craft, and the re-registering.
I have a part of the website for little handmade portraits where we use a small amount of images, maybe about 8 to 10, just to give a static three-dimensional hologram. And I went through the same thing as far as trying to think of what am I sacrificing if I want to go digital with this rather than just traditional photography.
Yes. It is a question, a big issue really, and one that's got to be broached there.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, we will see. I can always go back to the old hands-on method, but the last one I did, which was some time ago, I seem to remember it took me about a couple of months to do because there were 72 images, which two lots of 36. I montaged a foreground and a background, and both the foreground and the background had to have corresponding mats.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of montaged an image in space. And so that was a bit too much work. I got too involved in the process. So this will give me a chance to step back a bit and maybe start afresh.
Yeah. Now, I know I've been on a website of yours. It's a personal website that contains your photography. Do you also have a website for the hologram so someone could see these?
I do. It's rather out of date. It's in Japan. Well, it's one I did in Japan, and it's actually on the.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that.
It's actually on a guy called Urs Fries rescued it from Japan, and it is now on the Kunsthochschule für Medien website, the KHM.de. And I'll have to look up the website link.
Yeah, I can do a search and find the URL because I want to include, a link to some of your work to go along with the show as well.
Yes. Oh, that would be good. I've got to update it. It's rather old, but I have to thank us for rescuing it. Otherwise, it would have been lost forever.
Yeah.
They've been doing this. They've got quite a few holography sites up there.
Nothing's lost forever on the web. There's actually a few websites that go around and they spider all the websites that are in existence, and they store it on their computers, and you can go there and do a search and find websites that have been off the web for years.
Yeah?
Right. So everything's still there if you can.
Everything's there, you've got to find it.
You got to find it. Do you ever think about coming to the States to do any of your workshop programs?
Well, we've got to get this one off the ground.
Sure, I understand.
People have mentioned it, and yes, of course I would be interested in doing. I mean, obviously there's a thing where, holography is kind of equipment dependent, and so you couldn't offer the whole thing. You could only offer what within the equipment available.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea is to try and get some teaching elsewhere, and hopefully encourage some people to come to Richmond as well.
Yeah.
That might want to, do the stereogram work or the pulse work.
Do you ever hear anything from Bardis?
I haven't heard from Bardis for years.
Yeah.
Last I heard, he was living in Oklahoma City or something.
Oh, really? Huh.
Getting into shiatsu, but I haven't heard from him for years. Yeah, it would be good to get in contact with him.
Yeah, I have a videotape of you that he recorded of you working at the Museum of Holography down in the lab.
Oh, wow. That would be good to see that.
Yeah. I may take a few snippets of that at some point and show people.
Oh, no, that would be great.
Would you like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Except might look a little young there, so it would be horrible.
Yeah, how the years go, huh?
Yeah, they fly past.
If you don't mind me asking, how old are you now?
Oh, 28. No. I'm 45 now.
Oh, okay.
Which is, I find quite scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit 50 in January.
Right.
That's really scary.
Got the big 50.
That's it. It's almost like, this is the last part of my life now.
Oh,
that's it.
Don't say that. There's still
but
lots to go.
It's true, though. It's true.
Yeah, no, we've still got lots of years in you, 20, 30.
Yeah, but
I don't know, it's all an attitude. I imagine I'm still going to be working away when I'm 75.
I'll never finish work. I'll be working when I pass away.
Yeah. So, I mean, things go a little, progress takes a little longer, but we're still working away.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this. Do you find more excitement in holography now or back when you were, say, younger in New York?
I think I still find it just as exciting now.
Mm-hmm.
And
what about the response of people to holography? There seems to be almost a drought of exhibits and...
Yeah, well, I mean, the response of people to holography seems to be equally as amazing, and there's a whole load of people that come in and say, wow, I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, and still to this day, huh?
Yeah, well, and they haven't seen them, you see, because they've, they're coming up, 20-year-old, maybe haven't seen holograms like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I haven't been around. And it's kind of different working in it now, because before it was definitely on the cutting edge of technology. Well, now it's just different.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
And a lot of competing technologies.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't seem high tech anymore. It just seems different, which is probably a good thing for holography, because if holography suffered from anything, it was being kind of over. I don't know. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, people expected too much from it. They expected Star Trek and things like that. Yeah,
projected entertainment within their living rooms and things of that nature.
Yes. And now that's, not it doesn't have such a reputation to live up to. Unfortunately, you still get the odd thing in the papers where someone says, oh, and they're going to be holographic projections, and you have to explain to people that, no, they're not holographic projections, there's something else, so it still has that problem. But, I mean, a lot of people had a very negative conceptual idea of holography, because of all these promises that it failed to keep up to. But now, I've got a new generation of people coming up, and they all seem very excited about it. And we'll see. And also, holography is doing very well in the art world at the moment. We've got James Turrell showing his holograms as major art pieces.
Where are those shows at?
Where he recently showed some at the Royal Academy in London.
Okay.
Some show. But I think he's showing all over the world.
Now, most of these folks are artists in the traditional sense that they've worked with other media, and holography just piqued an interest, and they decided to do a few pieces with holography.
Yeah.
That's been the case for so many years.
Yeah.
I have mixed feelings about that, but I guess,
Yeah, I think most holographers probably do, but it's not only holography. I mean, most big-name artists will commission studios to make their work, I had an artist studio not long ago. My neighbour, all he did was make work for a famous artist,
Yeah.
And he was a sculptor, so it's not just in holography. It's a bit annoying that holographers per se have been able to get large shows for themselves on the back of their own work.
Yeah.
But I think it goes across the board. I mean, art is a business, and for better or for worse or whatever, and it's a lot of the people that make the money are people getting other people to make their work for them.
Yeah.
So it's not always like that. Yeah. So anyway.
So, what are your future plans? I mean, 10 years from now, where do you see Patrick Boyd?
Well, hopefully running a very successful holography school.
Okay.
With courses more than once a month.
Now, will you instruct? Do you plan on instructing these courses yourself, or do you see the day come when
I'm instructing most
you'll be
of it.
more in an administrative position?
No. Well, I'm organising it and instructing it, and also getting guest teachers in. Yaki Bergstein is the only one so far, but hopefully that will increase to other specialisms.
Mm-hmm.
So someone coming in downstairs, very nice. Right.
That's okay.
And,
it's good to hear people.
Yes, there's people here, yeah. There's quite a lot going on here. And, also, I'm still interested in shooting photographic footage for holograms and making holograms again.
Do you see the day when you will have no choice but to move on to digital holography?
No, I think there's a future for traditional holography. I mean, you can tell the difference when you look at a digital hologram.
Mm-hmm.
And also, no, I can't say it. I can just see traditional holography at the moment.
Yeah, at the moment.
I mean, even when you make a digital hologram, you still have to, unless you get someone else to make it for you, there's still a lot of technology involved.
Yeah.
It's all swings and roundabouts, really.
I imagine the printer would be the most expensive part of the of that process.
Yeah, I mean, basically, when you make a digital hologram, you have there's a setup involved, and they're extremely, these digital holographic printers or whatever, are extremely expensive.
Yeah, who's manufacturing those?
Well, we do here.
Oh, you're manufacturing.
Yeah, that's the main core of their business, is the technology, making these machines now.
And the folks that are purchasing them, the companies, what are the applications that they're using them for?
Security imaging.
Security, okay.
Yeah, tickets and things like that.
Well, I want to wish you a lot of luck, continued success. It's been a long time since we've had a chance to talk to one another.
It's been great to catch up. How's Allentown?
Allentown's doing well.
Good.
Still have the same house.
Yes, excellent.
My wife and I put a lot of years into refurbishing the house. The girls, like I spoke to you on Saturday, they're grown.
Yeah.
And out of the house, and you
got it back to yourself now.
How many children do you have? Two. What are their ages?
Hamish is 12 and Tabitha's 10.
Wow.
Hamish was famously featured in a hologram.
Okay.
Baby.
Mm-hmm.
And but it doesn't seem to have affected him too much.
Yeah.
He's still doing well. And but if you ever hear of Bardas, let us know what he's up to.
Yeah, I've looked him up a couple times on the web, and I found a few things, but nothing that was current.
Yeah.
I try to find everybody.
Yeah. He'll surface.
Yeah.
At some point.
All right. Well, just to let the HoloTalk listeners know, we have links on the website to Patrick's workshop programs, and they're running now in London. And you can become a part of those because they're running around the calendar year, the last week of each month.
That's it. Excellent.
All right.
I'll send you the address for my personal holography website.
All right. Patrick, thank you.
My pleasure.
I'm sure the listeners are very happy to hear your voice, and that's what HoloTalk's all about. We read about all these people on the web, but we don't really get a chance to hear them or hear them speak, and this gives everyone an opportunity to actually put a human element to these holographers that everyone reads about.
Okay.
All right.
Brilliant. Now I'm going to have to gem up on my technology and work out how to download this to my iPod as well.
Oh, yeah, that's just an automatic process. I mean, there's a thing now where you can hook your iPod up and it'll just download the show overnight and it'll be waiting for you in the morning.
Oh dear.
Isn't that amazing? I'm getting emails from people that listen to them going to work in the morning on the buses and stuff, and it's a whole new ball game now.
Doing well. The site still looks good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right.
Okay, listen. Speak to you soon.
Okay, take care, Patrick.
Thanks.
Bye.